Looks like we're live. Catch up to this. Good morning, Michael. Yes, I'm awake. And I'm here. And I'm trying to get my machine to catch up to me here. Oops. Get go live. Come on. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Hey, Alex. Good morning to all of you. Just want to make sure that my video is working. It's got about a 7-second delay, so turn a couple of shoehorn kits. Oh, cool. Of course, all my shoes are slip-ons now, so I don't, I don't use the shoehorn much like I used to. Ever since I came up with the slip-ons and all. May need your help soon. Can't figure out the sticking. They're really hard to open and close sometimes. I cleaned it all out today, but still the same. Did you take it apart or did you just kind of blow it out? Because you can, of course, every chuck is different, so I'm not going to explain everything, but once you can actually take these little things back here and remove this and get down into the gears back here, and that could be your issue. In fact, mine, you can see mine need a little cleaning out too. But you can take this whole part. Just make sure that you took it back off, checked inside. Great, you got to close it. You got to close back. That's fine. Yeah, sometimes you have to get in there and just kind of slowly take everything apart. And by slowly, I mean really slowly, and then kind of reattach, go that route. Yeah, there is no quick and easy way. I not. What kind of, do you have an Axminster, or what kind of check do you have? Oh, I see circle of death on my side. I hope that's just my side, not your side. I saw circle of death there for a second. So apart and putting it all back together. Except for the spring ring. Yeah, okay. Well, it sounds like you did everything you're supposed to do. Did you put something? Did you besides blowing out and cleaning out? Did you put some sort of a silicone um, or like a WD-40 or something like that? Because different ones, like WD-40, the problem is with oil-based ones is they tend to gunk up later. You want to make sure that you use like a silicone-based or graphite even based um, substance in there. I think you can do a little bit better with that. Now I've had this one for years. It's got a retaining. As you can see, there's a little retaining ring right here. You have to pop that off. You can take these little out with an Allen wrench, and you can take this off, and then you can get down to gears It's not something I like to do often. I know some guys take them apart once a month. Very similar to the Axminster. Yeah, sorry. I don't want why I went away for a second. It's really weird. I've got double backup. Just so everybody understands, I've got double backup on my streaming. I've got a regular. It streams off my Wi-Fi, which is supposed to be one of the stronger Wi-Fi's around. It's Xfinity, and then it also has a backup streaming that it jumps over to using my cellular service if for some reason there's any latency problems. And yet, even with that, sometimes I get this little circle of death from it. Shouldn't stay on long. Don't worry about it too much. If you see a circle of death for a second, that's fine. If it's staying on there, let me know too, please, so that I can like restart it or something. But it shouldn't. I mean, it's. I've got every system you can imagine, and I've turned off every non-vital thing that's trying to use my internet service at the time. Also, I'm supposed to have really high bandwidth, so we'll see what happens. Um, okay, I will go back to turning this anyway. While the rest of you are here, thank you all for coming in. We are trying to hit our 5 million viewership today. Okay, we are very close. We are within 6,000. So I just need to have like a couple hundred people in here at some time, and we'll hit that 6,000 mark. I think pretty easily. But I told you I was going to turn 3 bowls today. I have good, bad, and ugly. This is walnut, and it's pretty bad. Look at this crack that comes all the way through here. I don't know if I can save it or not, but I'm going to give it a try. Okay, and in fact, I'm going to work on that a little bit while I work on this one. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of a CA glue down in here and see if I can't get that to kind of start the process for me while I go on to the other one. So, allow me to put. This is medium. I should have gone with thick. I'm not sure, but this is medium CA glue. Just wanted to go down into the crack for now. It's not going to hold much. I mean, it's not going to. It can go almost all the way through the darn piece of wood. So I'm going to do that, and I'll put a little spray on that, so we don't have it running down the sides. And I'll put on a little bit more. That's a huge gap of wood. I don't even know what we can do with it, to be honest with you. This is just an experiment today to see what we can get away with, kind of, with some really bad pieces of wood. See if we can be the conqueror or the conquered, one or the other. Okay. Put that in its place. Let's try to come through this side. We'll put some glue on this side. Sorry, I'm trying to see it frame here for you. Put some glue on this side, and we'll spray that. So we're spraying it from both ends, trying to stop up the ends a little bit. Yeah. Okay. That's blocked up. This one needs to be blocked up a little bit more. Okay. We will pour in here. I wanted you guys to see the process a little bit along the way here, not just pour without you seeing what I do. Okay. a little bit of dribble coming out of this end. Did this the other day and I ended up with CA glue all over my hands. So I'm a little wary of it this morning, if you don't mind me saying so. Okay. All right. It'll be in and out. Okay, that's fine. All right, so that's going to sit. And what I'm going to do, I think, while it's sitting there and we're turning the other pieces, is we'll put a little bit of wood filler in here. I get some wood filler here. Not real soft, but it should work. Okay. Out of the way. I'll try to force some of this wood filler down the hole as best I can. Down in there. I know this isn't the most exciting part of this, okay? So bear with me here because we will be picking up the turning part here in just a minute. I'm just kind of getting this started here, okay? So, okay, and I'm going to put that with a little tiny bit of wood glue on top just to kind of moisten it. And I'm not saying this is going to fill or solve the issue of that crack right away, because usually you want to have a couple days to work on that. But I just wanted to show a couple of ways that you can deal with it. Might help some people. Okay. So there we are. So we're going to set this aside and just let that kind of dry for a while we work on some of the other projects. Okay. So we got this going on here now. This is a piece of walnut, and it's kind of a crummy looking piece of the walnut. There was two pieces to it. This is the other piece, and they were actually connected. And I cut out. This is the best of what I connected out of it. But I hate to throw away a nice piece of walnut. I thought, well, let's try and see if we can't turn it with something, okay? So, check my connection. I'm good on there, okay? So we're going to try and turn this. We're just going to see what happens today. And by the way, in a little bit, we'll be talking about the contest for today. There is a contest, and you can win a pin. So stay tuned for that. Alrighty. So here we go. Okay, so now I got it pushed off just a little bit. Now I can come in on it. Good. All right, now we can keep the speed up. keep us to get it lighter. And now there we go. Yeah, we're almost round. We got a couple flat spots still, but we're getting there. So far, it's looking okay. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Good to see you in there. So please hit the like button if you would. And like I said, we're going to talk about how you guys can win a little prize today. There's still a few spots, a few little flat spots, not much. Right here. And other than that, we'll be rounded. So okay, I'm going to work on this just a little bit. Okay. That little, but that little tiny spot just wants to fight me. All right, let's see what we do. Right there. All right. Okay, so we got all that out of the way. We can shape it a little bit as we go. Want to get the bottom. So far, this piece of wood's cooperating, and that's good. Like I said, I hate to lose a nice piece of walnut. All right. had to kind of force it a little bit to get it to cooperate there. So now we got a relatively flat bottom. We'll straighten that out. And then we'll go to trying to sweeten that out as best we can. That is really hard walnut, so it's going to challenge us along the way. Okay. Now the question becomes, what kind of a design do we want to have on this? I'm thinking maybe a mold that curves in around on both sides. So let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do with the scraping tool. Okay. Let's see if we can make that curve just a little bit. I think I'm going to need my gouge to make that just a little bit better. Whoa! I want a piece. I don't know what I have. Okay, let's see how that's looking now. I've got a little cut right here that makes it going in, so I gotta kind of figure that into this somehow. Let me see. Well, we can't just make a bowl, right? We gotta make something that looks kind of unique. And kind of give it a ball shape a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's looking better. Okay. Now I can go back to using this. And use this, and I can just kind of refine that a little. A little bit of curve there. Okay. It's getting pretty smooth. I think I'll use my other skew. Get a real light. Okay. There we are. I think we're getting it. All right. So I can put a little miter on the bottom here. And let's see how that goes. Well, center just doesn't want to come out. It's really tight walnut. There we go. Okay. Now we'll refine this just a little bit. Wrong one. All right. I think I need to get a little bit bigger, but I just want to kind of see where I'm at here. We may just pull this thing up yet. I don't know. It's got to matter of what goes on the inside and see big things like this. We don't know what we're going to do. So. Boy, it just needs a little bit more. Keep underestimating that today. Oh, and I've also got a little crack right here I'm going to have to deal with. You can see that too. So. Yeah, that is a little bit deeper than I normally go, I know. It was like just a hair's breadth off. I'm just really not on target today. find a little bit of doming right here. That's actually kind of helpful. There we go. Now we're in there good. All right. So I am going to have to worry about this little crack right here. So right now, before we go any further, before I even start sanding, I'm going to go and put just a couple drops of CA glue in there, just to let it settle in. Let's see if there's any others. I think I'll go all the way around just to be sure. There we go. And that'll just help secure that, make sure that holds a little bit better when we're turning. Yeah, that's what that's for. Keep back in the fridge, so if you want to keep it in the refrigerator where they'll stay fresher. I don't know about your shop, but there's always something in the way, right? Let's see what we got here. Hey, Mike. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for everybody for coming in here today, and please hit that like button. Okay, we got to do a little bit of sanding on this on the outside. Then we should be able to turn this around and we'll be going on the end of this first bowl here. Okay, so let's turn that on. Turn it around reverse. Wow, really good already. Reverse. And one last one. really smooth. That's smooth as a cue ball. It's really smooth. Okay, let me put a little bit of finish on this. I think we can go with just a wax on this one. I'm going to do a little bit of colors, wax on here, and just see what that brings up in the finish here. Get it down into the crevices. A little bit more. And this will get us at least a good look at what it's going to be like. It's soaking that in pretty good. It could be I'll end up burnishing this out and putting a little of that tongue oil on here. Let that soak into the wood a little bit better. But for now, that'll work. Yeah. All right, let's give it a little bit of spin here. You can kind of see what the mold's going to look like. And if we get the inside turned, that's always the big if. Outside the mold's always the easy part. It's the inside that becomes kind of interesting. So there's, get a little closer here. Let's kind of see what it looks like. We got this big inclusion we got to deal with. But we got a pretty nice little buff finish on it right now. And we'll turn this around and build some more. We're going to use a little of this to furnish it off too. I think I got it here in my hand. There we go. Just bust it out a little bit. Oh boy, it really got banged on there. Good. Take that off. Feeling very manly this week. I fixed a toilet issue and I fixed a water faucet issue all in the same week. I'm feeling my testosterone a little bit for all this for all that work, you know. You ever have one of those weeks where you just kind of do all those manly things and you feel like, wow, I really did something today. Not sure what it is, but it does make you feel, all right, I didn't have to call a professional in to do something I could do. It just kind of gives you a good feeling, right? Yeah. Let's see how this turns. Yeah, that's turning pretty good. There's hardly any buff for that at all. Okay, we got a nice square curve. All right, well, I'll start with this one, but I probably got to go to a smaller turning tool. It's also a little bit dull, I think. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go with something different. Let me try this spinning guide for a second. Just to get a little bit of an edge established here. It's gonna be different. Yeah, I think we're gonna go to the carbide tool. Always a battle getting that lip established. Okay, so very hard wood. I could ply this with a coarser bit. It's just not something I do very often. We'll be having to use our hollowing out tool here in a minute to go in a little bit deeper, to go in the side. And now we're just going to keep taking this out. What do you think? Should I go for the Forstner bit, guys? Hi from Malta. Wow. It must be pretty late in the evening, I would think, for you at this point. But is that George? George, Jorge, George. Welcome from Malta. Okay. It's starting to come down a little bit. It's really getting. I'm going to. I think I'm going to move this just a little bit. It's could be where it's just a little bit dull on the carbide. I'm going to turn it just a little. Bring it down again. See if that makes a difference. That's all right. I was using this on oak the other day, so it was about time to move it, I think. But be aware of that about the tool. Notice when they're not doing the job, and you know, be willing to replace or sharpen them so that you don't have that problem. No, I wanted to check something. Sometimes after a while, these tend to loosen up just a little bit. Nope, it's in good shape. Still holding on well. So Okay. Let me see what else is on here. Manhua, I think that's how it's pronounced. Welcome in. And please, Michael, hit the like button and subscribe. But more importantly, you may want to become a member today. I don't normally push memberships, but we are having a prize giveaway today. And it's only going to be for people that are members up to 4 hours after this video is over with. So you have 4 hours. But I'll tell you how to enter the contest here in about 20 minutes. I'll tell you about the contest and how to enter into the contest. So maybe about the time we're finishing with school, I don't know. If you're interested. Okay. As we start to take out the wall a little bit here, you start to get a little more accumulation inside the mold that doesn't come out. So we gotta be careful. I'm just looking to see is there anything I'm going to be coming across. Now, this is what I have to worry about is as I go nearer to the thinner here, I'm going to encounter more of this, and I don't want to have a blowout. So I got to be real careful to watch for that as I go. I'm going to move my light here a little bit so I can see better what I'm doing. Now you can see better too, probably. If not, I'll change it. I'll change the angle a little bit. Yeah. This is really nice and solid inside, which I'm happy to see, considering what it was on the outside. You know? So this is probably going to be the hardest wood of the 3 woods that I'm doing today. Okay. about halfway down. We are getting a good curve in here, and I don't see any signs yet of any interference from the outside, so that's all good news. But I do need to take a lot more of that curve out. Okay. Coming along, coming along. Hey, Tom. Terrific, Tom. How you doing? Welcome in and join the group. I appreciate it. You're not late. This is just the first bowl, so there's still plenty more to go. All right. So far, now the heat is building up in here a little bit. I'm going to let that rest for just a second here, but I need to go out further here, and I am at right in the middle of the ball right now. So I got to make sure that I keep forcing that out. And that chattering sound you're hearing is that I'm getting out now. I'm about this far out from the end here, so this starts to chatter as it cuts. And so you got to be careful of too much chatter or getting in there. And see, I think I might try using my flat rest. So I think I can get in there a little bit better with the flat rest. So let me try that. Just use the short one here. One with the flat rest is you have to get it just right. But the good news is you can get it just right. So I'm going to try switching to this. And just a hair high. Come down without touching the edges here. Be careful. You don't want to get too aggressive with this. Let's see if I can get you down here for a better view in there. Let me see. I'm not sure if I can, but I'll try. Like that. Is that a better view? I don't know. But we'll try that. I'll try not to be too much in your way. And we'll give that a try. Okay. Whoa! I was afraid of that. I was afraid it might grab. Okay. Didn't hurt it. Didn't hurt it any. We just need to reattach. But the problem with using that one is it can be, okay, it can be a little bit too aggressive. And it looks like we might have been a little aggressive there. I don't know. Go back in there and see what we can do. Okay. With much lighter cuts. Whoa! Man, it's just grabbing it. Okay. Well, I will try something different then. I will go. Let me see here. I'll go with this carbide. And I think I have to lower it some. Okay, not touching anything. Have to be a lot lighter with the cut. Sorry, I don't want to get my head in the way there. I'm sorry. I'll try and stand back and still do it. I'm not sure if I can. Clean it out a little bit. Here we go. Okay. Okay. I have to keep checking myself, feeling. Okay. Feeling the walls as I do this. I might have to raise it just a tiny bit. Yeah. Boy, this is really hard, I'm telling you. Hollowing out walnut is not something I would, especially on a big bowl. This is a small bowl. So it's somewhat quick with the drill. You're absolutely right. But the problem is that you still have the side. Take care of the drill. You still have to deal with the sides. And since I'm doing a bowl that needs to be not just straight down, but also in, you have to going through the middle. That's kind of the easy part. I just go right into the middle. It's over here, and the idea is not to just get a 2-inch Forstner bit and then just scrape out the little tiny bit at the end. The idea is to actually engage with the wood and have it do what you want it to do. So that's kind of why I'm okay. I hope that I explained that just a little bit better. I'm not sure, um, but you're absolutely right, SpongeBob or not SpongeBob. Uh, you don't want to go through the bottom, and you also don't want to, you know, you don't necessarily want to do the drill thing. You can do the drill thing if you want. Everybody has their own way of doing it. I don't normally use carbide tools very often either, but for something like this, it's better than a gouge. Oops. I'll take a little nipple off there in the middle. There we go. But I'm not near the bottom yet. I mean, it kind of looks like I am. Let's see how that came out. We are right about here. And I've got about another quarter inch or so at least before I get to the bottom. So I think I can go a little bit more. You want to get as much out of the bowl as you can because you don't want to go back later and go, darn, I wish I had turned it just a little bit more. So also want to keep this cleaned out as much as I can. What's funny is you feel like you're really going in, but then when you go and look at it, you're only off a little bit. You know, it's not as far into the side as you think it is. And at this point, you're kind of turning blind because you're not able to see what's going on in there. You're not able to see very clearly what's going on in there. But I can feel it. Okay, so I got a nice, pretty thin wall. And right to about here. I need to take out that middle part just a little bit. Excuse my hitting the camera with my head, but in order to give you a view, I'm kind of have the camera in my way too. Okay, I think that does it. I think we'll call that. Okay, I'm going to get my vacuum and vacuum that out real quick. Okay. Now, we just sand that out just a little bit. Not much. Turn this on just a second. Yeah, that's fine. That's all we need to do on the inside. We can put that new bag on there too. Louder. Where's my best side? Dust out of there. All right. So we'll put a little finish on the inside and outside of that, and I think we'll be able to retire this one. And I'll go into the explanations here as to what little contest I was talking about. If you didn't see the message I sent out, and I know if some of you did, of course, that we're hitting 5 million viewers today, as of today. 5 million views. And so, due to that, or at least I hope we're going to do it, it's not exactly having a banner number of people here today, but as we hit 5 million views, I wanted to have a little contest. So I thought for the people that have been members of this channel, the membership only costs 99 cents, by the way. But as for, hey, so Jim, how you doing? So for members of this channel, I would have a little drawing, and I would provide you. I would make a pen for you and send it to you, and along with my thank you and everything, free of charge. I just want to thank everybody for for helping us get along this far. And so I thought we'd have a little drawing for that. So to do that drawing, you have to listen careful. You have to contact me on my email, and you have to be a member. And you have to do it within 4 hours after the end of this video. So when I end this video, I'll count about 4 hours, and I'll check to see my emails, and we'll see. And we'll see, who wants to be in the drawing for a free pen. So if you want to be in the drawing, and if you are a member, and that could be even a person that just became a member today, okay? But if you are a member and you want to be in the drawing, got a pencil ready? It's not very hard. You contact my email address. Now, my email address is in the description for the channel. Not this description, but if you go to the channel for 2-minute tips for wood turners, there is a description there. There's you push the thing about this channel, and in there it'll show my email address. But I'm also going to say it one time right now for those of you that are watching and listening. Okay, so if you got a pencil ready, it's very simple. It's HR Mobile, 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 Jeff, JEFF, at gmail.com. HRMobileJeff at gmail.com. And that's all you have to know. And once you send me that email, send me also your contact information, or obviously send it by email that I can contact you. Or if you want to put a phone number, I can do that too. And we'll discuss, what kind of pen you want and what kind of wood you want. and we'll go from there. Okay, so we'll try and make it what you want. And the other thing I was offering was, if you wanted to collaborate with me on it, we would go on a live, probably just the two of us and whoever wants to watch, but it's probably just the two of us. And I would invite you in on the live, and we could, if we can work it out, and we could go about this together as I'm turning it. So, and have a little chat or discussion. So if you want to go that route, please let me know, and feel free anytime now through up to 4 hours after this video is over with today. Okay, to sign up for it. And if nobody wants one, fine. I'll just make one for myself. I got plenty of pens, but I can make another one. So here we've made our little walnut bowl out of that piece of cracked wood that didn't look like it would support anything. We managed to turn a bowl. You can use that for a lot of things. And could I have gone a little lower? Yeah, I probably could have gone another quarter inch, maybe not even that. I maybe could have gone down another quarter of an inch, but I think it's a pretty nice looking bowl. Bring it over here where you can see it a little better. It's an interesting piece. And whoever gets this, whoever I sell this to, will be able to say, hey, I can see this, watch this being turned on a video. So there we go. That's our first piece. Okay, for our second piece, and this one I have absolutely no idea if it'll work or not. This one here. This is a piece of, I believe it's a piece of redwood. See, well, it's redwood, I believe. But it's the outer part. It's not the inner part. It's the nice, pretty red part. It's more the outer part of the tree. And it had a nice big crack. It runs here, runs all the way down to here. So a long time ago, I went and put some glue in there and some other things to try and shore it up, but I have no idea if this is just going to fall apart. I don't know. Okay, it may just fall apart and go flying off in all sorts of pieces, and we'll all be going oops, and that'll be the end of it. So I have no idea, and the whole idea here was just to take these pieces of wood that have been staring at me in the face for quite a while and try and decide whether I wanted to do something with it or cut the bait, So I'm going to start by trying to level this off just a little bit. Let me put these carbides away. We'll need them for this project. Always trying to put them back in the same spot. I don't always succeed. Okay, so this one, you did hit the like button. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to spin this one up. It's very light wood, but it's also very stranded wood, so it can rip out, tear out, or explode very easily. So let's pray against that and see what we can do, okay? You see how far we are from the center. far now. Well, we got one side that's actually turned, the other side's still completely gone. But at least we can move up now. That was a lot of wood to remove. All right. All right. We're starting to make some progress. Whew. I think I'm going to sharpen this. Just not cutting through those fibers. I don't think those fibers are going to easily cut anyway, but sharpening it might help just a little bit. You take a lot out when you're doing that walnut. Now you need to quick cut up. Okay. There we go. See if this does any good. Man, it just doesn't really want to. Look at that. That's tearing. That's not even cutting. It's just knocking out, basically, ripping out as it goes. I'm going to try speeding it up a little. See if that helps. I think the speed and the sharpening both help a little bit. Okay. We generally have the bottom flattened out now. It's not perfect. I don't need it to be. I just need to work on these sides for a minute. That's not quite rounded out either. So let's go to work on that. tear out. It's really rough. A little flat spot there. So we're going to have a lot of work trying to smooth this out a little bit, trying to make it not so. Woo. All right. Thank you for using the like button. Guys, please keep talking in here. I appreciate it. Get some conversation going, you know. Conversation helps a lot in this show. Otherwise, I feel like I'm standing here by myself. Yeah. Yeah, smooth, we got that. See, we took out a little bit of that tear out. It's still pretty rough, but it's at least it is better. And see how this is twisting off? We need to work on that too. Okay, so let's work on the sides here first, I think. Get them kind of smooth, then we'll go to the tenon on the back. That smooth it out even more. It helped a lot. I like to be getting the dust almost coming off of that. I think that I've really got it down where it needs to get it just basically sandy. Plate, okay? A little plate stuff. That means it's not going to be perfectly smooth, but that's a lot better. Okay, that's sandable now. All right, now we'll go over here. Okay. Gonna have a little tear out no matter what we do here. See how much smoother that got though? Little tiny bit of tear out right there. Got a crack showing. This is the worrisome part. But we're just going to keep going with it best we can. All right. So now we got a crack showing. Oh, lovely, lovely. I don't mind putting myself in danger for you guys. Okay, that mark. Yeah, right there. That. Lower this just a little bit. You'll see why I'm going so deep in just a second here, okay? I'm going deep because I'm going to go ahead and I want to make sure, first of all, where the crack is. But I also want to smooth this out, put a little bit of CA glue in there. And then lower this part down over. Okay. I don't see the crack there, so good. That's good. All right, good. We don't have to worry about that. Now I can get in. A little bit more. Yeah. Shoot. All right. About as good as I can do with that. So this is where it's going to need a little bit of help. Let's see how we are here. Good. Okay, we're good. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to reinforce this. Take it off to do it. We got a crack that's running right across here. So I'm going to have to reinforce that with a little CA glue. And I think what we'll do is we'll brush this on. On both sides. And around the edge. Wow, interesting. It's interacting with the oils in this wood. Whew, you can see the smokes. Oh, man. Oh, I don't really want to smell it. Oh, that made my eyes burn. Whew. Well, it reacted chemically with the wood. I'll be okay, but boy, let me get my mask off for just a second there. Wow, that CA really reacted with that wood. Okay. I'm going to put some tongue oil on this because I think it's going to just suck it in something fierce. Oh, that's right. I need to sand this down first. Stupid me. We'll sand that down and we'll put some tongue oil on it because that is really strong stuff right now. Okay. I did a box Wednesday and it turned out nice. My most recent plates and bowls were fine. Yeah, I saw the plates and bowls. They look good. You're getting good practice on those now. First, I got it off. And sometimes you get in reverse. It's good. That was just the 80 grit, so I need to go a little bit stronger there. This is doing really good. All that good green tear up that we had before. I'm going to go up one more thread just to make sure. And then I'm going to put it feels so good. Very, 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 very smooth. Turn that off so you can hear me again. Okay, yeah, that feels really good. Okay, so now we're going to put the tongue oil on here. This is just my mixture of 100% tongue oil with orange or lemonade, citrus oil, as you might call it. And it's going to suck this in because it is a really dry piece of wood. In fact, I didn't think those drips would even make it to the other end of the bowl before they would disappear. Because they were running down the sides. It just soaks it right in. Watch this. Put that on there. And it's not even going to run down the sides. It's already soaking in. Look at there. That's how much it's soaking in. See there? It all just went straight into the wood. So this is really, really hungry wood. It's going to take me a little bit to get this soaked in. Once we get the first coat on, and it's already dry. Put the first coat on, it's already dry. Let that get into the wood. And it's going to have a little bit of a wet wood look for a while. As it dries out a little bit over the course of a day, say, this will lighten up. It won't show as dark as it shows right now. That's why a lot of times when you're using tung oil, you really want to give it 2 or 3 days to take this off. You want to give it 2 or 3 days to soak in and dry, because just putting it in there, it just keeps sucking in, and it's not hardening. It's not getting a chance to cure. You need to have a chance to cure in there. Cool. Now this is side grain here, so this is not going to suck it in quite as much. I'm going to let that kind of sit on there for just a minute. Some of it will disappear, some of it won't. So what do we got going on here, guys? Anything else? Good time to ask any questions that you might have. Let's see. Hi, Jack. Jack Seymour. Hey, how you doing? Electric Tuesday pouring shortly afterwards, huh, Tim? Okay, on your project, on your floor project. Yeah, Tuesday is concrete day, I think, for me on my outside thing, too. They were supposed to come by later this afternoon and start working, and they're tearing out my entire front of my house, basically. The house part's staying, but all the landscaping, everything in front of my house is going away, and they're coming to do that today and Monday, and they're tearing out my driveway and everything, and I won't be able to go in my driveway for 3 weeks until it cures, because it's a 6-inch thick with rebar, and that's a pretty thick cement to cure. So until it cures, I'm parking in front of neighbors' houses and everything else with my cars and hoping nobody breaks into them, basically. Not that there's anything to take. They would be sorely missed if they broke into my cars, because there wouldn't be anything there for them to have. But that doesn't stop some people. Jerks be jerks. Okay, so I've got a couple coats on here. Enough to at least soak in and reinforce the wood just a little bit. And you can see it has a very nice glow to the wood. It's going to be a pretty bowl when we're done. Right now, we're just going to wipe it down a little bit and go on. Well, I got sprayed with a little bit, but that's okay. I'll be preserved too. How's that sound? Doesn't hurt to preserve me, does it? Right. Okay. Yeah, thus far. We'll just wait and see. So now we're going to see whether this thing can actually still be a bowl. Like I said, when you look at these pieces of wood, you said, I don't think these will last to make a bowl. And you have to think a lot about how do you approach them to get the most out of the piece that you can. So my point today was to take 3 really ugly, tough pieces of wood and see if we couldn't make 3 bowls out of it. And I see the fun one for last. This is going to be the last one. And you get to see it. So, yeah, this is a piece of oak burl. And that ought to be a real challenge. So, after the other two have worn me down, this will be the one. That'll be the one that goes after me. So let's put that on. Let me see that crack is. I want to make sure that I'm not spreading the crack. Let's see if I can get that a little bit better. Tiny bit of wobble to it, but that's the wobble. You see. Let's see. I'll see if I can get it a little better. I don't know if I can. Actually, that looks worse than it did before. Let me loosen that in here. Okay, that looks good. All right. Sometimes you kind of have to pick your poison there. All right. I'm going to put my helmet back on, and let's wish us luck. Ooh. And that's what we were concerned with. One little bump and it comes right off. I don't know if it hurt that antenna or not. Let's see. This was my concern. When you have straight wood like this, it sometimes just does not hold on the tenon. And if that's the case, you may not be able to turn the bowl. Well, we'll see. And I'm going to up the speed because that was low speed before. See what happens is the rip, grab. It's already doing it. And see it here? It's grabbing and ripping instead of turning. So let's try a carbide just to see if we can get by with a carbide. I don't know if we can or not. Give it a try. Whoop. Well, and it's just torn a little tiny bit of that tenon out. But I'm just not sure if it's going to hold that way. I might have to go with a different approach. We might have to set this one aside for now because it just doesn't want to turn real good. We've tried 3 different methods. So any suggestions out there, I'd listen to them also. See surfaces, we're turning it together. 4 ways became 7 months. Wow. Wow. Okay, well, either going to be beautiful or hornet's nest. Well, I think, I could return this and make this a tenon, outward tenon, maybe trying holding a tenon like this. But my experience with soft wood like this, and this, remember, this is, if I can explain, the dark wood is the heartwood. So this is the sapwood out here. That's really soft. Sapwood is very soft. So it doesn't have a real good holding ability to it. I could make another ring on the foot way and make an. That's a possibility. My concern though is this wood is just so. See, it just tears out. You can do it with your finger. See there? You can do it with just your finger. That's how easy it comes out. So I'm gonna have to return that probably at some later date, and we'll do that one later. I'm not gonna bore you guys with trying to work that one. Instead, what we'll do is I'll bore you with this one, because this one's going to be a monster, I think. But then again, I did say good, bad, and ugly. Put this on. Oddly, we only have 15 people watching today. if you have any friends out there that are wood turners, why don't you let them know that we're on here? 15 people is not very many people for a Friday. I mean, usually I have 150, no kidding. Back around November, December, we were getting 100,000 people viewing a 2-hour live. If we have 20 people, it's really kind of weird. YouTube is really falling on some hard times, shall we? But we are still going to try and hit that 5 million today as we enter hour number 3. Well, we're getting rounded. That's something. Okay. All right, so we got a somewhat rounded or flattened bottom now. Now we got something to work with. Now we need to figure out the sides here. I don't think we're going to make it a perfectly rounded side. I think it's going to be a little bit awkward, but let's see. Ouch. And ouch again. That, that was a lot of stuff being powered into my finger, my hand, the side of my hand there. But it worked. It worked. You're a better angle here. Okay. So we got it relatively rounded. I have to kind of clean it up a little bit. did not take long. This is very old and very dry wood. This is part of that burl that I had that was like a 25 or 40, I'm sorry, about a 40-pound burl that I'd had for several years and probably been cut off many years before that. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll use this to trim that out a little. All right. Move this off a little bit. Like that. This mark. I'm going to go for the tenon. Let's see how that goes. See if I get better with this one. Oh yeah, got right in there. Good. We'll come around here this side. Move this off a little bit with the tools. And we'll be ready to sand it and go on to the next thing. So, it's coming on. That was good to see. This is one that had all the cracks earlier. We're going to see how this works. I'm going to do this flat spot, but I'm not going to go after this flat spot. I'm just going to get it out of this. Okay. I think that's about as nice as we're going to get it. A little bit. Okay. I'm going to take some sandpaper to this and we'll move on. Actually, on that first piece, on that piece is the oak burl. It's always fascinating because you never know what you're going to find inside or outside the bolt, quite honestly. Right? Didn't mean to drop you guys. There we go. You just never really know. We're only going to go up more on this. All right. Now, this is where you're going to look at it and go, wow, look at that. Maybe I put some of this on. I love using this little chip brush. It really gets in everywhere. Costs 10 whole cents. It lasts for yeah. Tell me this doesn't look like a pretty piece of wood. that's good. All that, and they just really enhance the whole look of this piece. There. What do you think of that? I think that's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try and clean up just a little bit while that's drying on there. There's a lot of sawdust here from those last two bowls. And I'll figure out a way to save that other bowl. I always try to. Sometimes you just have to walk away, get a different perspective on what you got left, and go from there. It's not worth wasting everybody's time trying to fix something right now. That's for sure. And if you're wondering, I still have a lot of other ones I want to get going. This is that elm that we turned a few weeks ago, the green one. Isn't that looking beautiful? It's so smooth. Even now, it's so smooth. And can't wait to turn the inside of this. It is just slightly oval. But yeah, this is another one we're going to get going on. And let's see if we can do that. Okay, well, I'll take this off. I think it's time to replace my little rubber gaskets. Now, if you're buying the expensive ones, well, that's up to you. I buy these. I get them from Amazon, and it's just an oil-resistant rubber. Last me, a month or so. I can get it for about $10. That ones that cost like $8 or $10 a piece. So given the choice, I'll take these, and see how they come out. So 1, 2, 3. Again, always make sure you're using stainless steel screws so they don't break on you. Never use a drywall screw or anything like that, because they will break in your wood, and you will be cussing a storm for about half a day trying to get that so that you can turn it. Lathe tools. So take it from me, take it from experience, because how do you think I learned it? By using the wrong ones. Oops. Don't want to. Let's see. Yeah, that's turning pretty good. Okay. some of that stuff back out of the little holes that it went into. So before I get covered with it, I want to just kind of let it. Okay. Good. Nice thing about burrowed surface is you don't have to be as perfect with your uh, finish, because I mean, as far as the sanding goes, because it's a rough finish. I mean, it's going to be rough. So I think I'm in the right place. Sorry, I hear a cat calling here. I guess not. Sounds like probably the neighbor's kids in the pool. About the same thing, and just as annoying sometimes. Yeah, Jim, you're right. And by the way, guys, if you haven't checked out Soldier Farms, check out Soldier Farms channel. Jim is a turning plates and molds. I don't know if he got the bug from me or what, but I was turning plates, and all of a sudden he had a whole bunch of orders for plate turning, and so. No, I'm going to switch here. I'm going to use this one here. See if I can get a little better cut. My back is killing. Wow, that's what I'm hitting. I was wondering what it is I'm hitting here, and this is this inclusion that looks like it's pretty gnarly because it looks like it comes from. See how that goes, because I don't know how we're going to get through that. One of the things that always worries me is when you have a void here right in the center. And it didn't hurt the miter at all. Grabbed it and pulled it off. So that's not an issue. But okay. It's just one of the problems you have with wood like this, where you have voids and when you're going to hit something. Right? And what if we could go back to our carbide and try using it, but I don't know if that's going to be of any better use. Put it up to 300 degrees and see what happens. Let's see. Uh-oh. saw a little bit of a circle of death there. Well, Eric did that just for you. Eric, sometimes Eric, some people just, provide that little extra for it is that creates excitement in the workshop. Actually, Eric, where you missed was the last one where it came coming off and blowing off, basically. Which is what I predicted would happen in the first place, just so you know. See what we're looking at here. See, on slow speed, you can see I got a big tear out here all the way across, and that's what I'm really worried about getting grabbed at any. You could grab and tear and knock this whole thing off. So what I'm doing is trying to coax this past it. Yeah. Yeah. What'd you say? Oh, you've been cleaning but everyone's been cleaning their shops. I know. Yeah. Well, when you're using your garage for a place to work, also it makes it doubly important that you keep it cleaned up. I had that problem in my last home. In my My last home, I had a actual 3-car garage with separate doors, so I could take, and I created a wall across one of them, because we only had 2 cars anyway, so we parked the 2 cars in the other garages and turn the third one into workshops. Then it was kind of narrow, so you really have to be careful how you lay out things. They're not getting curls, I'm getting dust, basically, for most of this. Wow, this is really working me out. We are about a third of the way into this bowl. Let's take another stab at this and see what happens. Huh, isn't it? Uh, Vacations are nice. When you retire, they're all vacations, kind of, but then you need a vacation from your retirement. You know, like being retired. I'm going to take a time out for a second. Being retired is kind of like a job. Things to be doing. You have things. You feel like you need to be doing something important with the time you got left. So you do things like start YouTube channels and do other stupid stuff. That's all kind of important. But it's nice to get away from all of it too, and actually go on a real vacation. And it's funny that you mentioned that because I was just talking last night, and then doing a little research about maybe taking I for a little trip. We've never been there. However, the flight from California is about a 4-hour drive to Los Angeles, and then a 10-hour flight if you go direct from Los Angeles to Heathrow. And once you get there, then you got to figure out Heathrow. So it's a lot of and how comfortable do I want to be? I want to be very comfortable. I don't like sitting for that many hours. I want to be able to get up and go walk around, or maybe go into the lounge area they have on some planes. But that costs us upwards of $10,000 to $15,000 per ticket. So that's a consideration too. So I don't know if any of you guys have flown from like LA to England, or if you have any pointers that you like to bet up. But yeah, I know it's a lot shorter from the East Coast. Unfortunately, to fly even from California to the East Coast, is like a long flight, and it ain't cheap. I checked Virgin Airlines and their premium seating, where they have it basically turns into a bed and other things. Sounds really nice, and some of the reviews are like they couldn't get any flight attendants to pay attention to them or get any drinks and stuff. Or they really push the fact that they offer lots of alcoholic beverages. So I'm not paying money for drinks that I'm not going to drink. You know, this has been a crack all the way down through this whole thing, but I know we got solid wood in here somewhere in the middle because it's solid. So at some point I got to get past this and actually get solid wood in the middle again. But it's been very difficult. And you have to be so careful. We are just past halfway through. Yeah. I think I see something positive here. Let me see. Nope. Wow, look at that. There's a big hole. These holes just keep getting bigger. These holes just keep getting bigger and more treacherous. Ugh, dang. Well, we still got that big hole there, but I'm starting to get a little bit solid in the center, a little bit more solid in the center. So maybe we're Maybe we're going to get past that. Oh. We are kind of getting a big hole here. Still got stuff in the middle. Man, it is just. I said this would be the ugly one. We had the good one, we had the bad one. Now we got the ugly one. My hope is the ugliest bowl becomes the prettiest bowl at the end. Yeah. Well, I'm here. I can go down to about here. So I got at least another quarter of an inch or so. Maybe I'll find wood in the middle of this bowl eventually. Sounds like we found more cracks again. Now it's in the side here, right in here. Back to this. Well, the hole is getting smaller here. and I'm almost getting to solid wood in the middle. So that's a good sign. The other thing I have is feel and color change as I'm turning. You see, it's starting to get more solid down here. I think we've gotten through some of that stuff. Doesn't mean we can't still have a catch. But it does look better. Okay. We are right about here. So I have maybe a quarter of an inch or so depth to go. I can get in there a little closer. There. I think we're getting close to the bottom. Oh. Now I'm gonna stop before we're not gonna do another one of those bowls. And I maintain the sides as we're coming on too. Make sure we're staying the same thickness here. And it's very thin. That is very thin right there because this cuts in right there. So I got to be a little careful because I'm about to go through. But I don't want to do that. I think I can take just a little bit more off the bottom and we'll be done. Well, I'm going to take my scraper here and just do a little bit of cleanup on the bottom here. And we are right here. Yeah, I can go a little more. I think I'll call it back because I don't want to worry about going through on these thin sides on the part where it cuts in. So I think we'll just call it that. We'll do a little vacuuming, or a little sanding, and we'll be done with this one. For those of you that are around, I appreciate it. And I will repeat how to win the prize one more time. I know we haven't had many people in here today, but hopefully I think we've hit our goal of getting the prize level. I'm going to stop right there. Finish on this and call that one good. So let's get in here. Anyway, for those of you that have been watching, or if you are a member, and that's only for those of you that are members or will become members today on our channel, if you contact me at the email that I give, which you can also find by going to the channel, the channel heading for this channel, 2 Minute Tips. If you go in the description to the channel, not the description for this video, but the description for the channel, you go in there, it gives you an email address. You can contact me, and if you contact me between now and 4 hours after the few minutes here, when you contact me, and if you are the name I pick out of a hat, so to speak, I will contact you, and we will get together and I will make a pin for you. Even go on a live video and maybe collaborate on the pen if you are so interested in doing that. So let me know. Get in touch with me. Like I said, it takes being a member. Membership is 99 cents. For that matter, you can always just become a member and then cancel your membership afterwards or something. And it'll just cost you for the 1 month that you're on. I mean, there's no real obligations there. It's just I just wanted to limit it to people that have actually been with me, reward the people that have been coming back time and time again. 5 million views is a lot of views, especially nowadays in YouTube when you're doing something creative and new, not just reacting to somebody else's stuff, or yelling about some politician or some stupid thing like that. You're actually creating this. YouTube doesn't promote that as much. This is our chance to kind of celebrate ourselves a little bit. Okay. So Eric or anybody else, if you guys contact me by my email address, like I said, I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast in the channel description. So contact me. Let me know if you want to be considered, and I will do a drawing in the next 24 hours, I hope, and we'll go from there. So here's the bowl, and as you can see, it's pretty cool. That came out pretty nice. And this is the one we did earlier. So I'm going to pull back out from that a little bit. There's two of our bowls that we did today. This came out really nice, I think. I like that. And again, these were thrown into the fire wood pile a long time ago, but I just wanted to save them and turn them into something. So when we didn't get turned, still pretty. Still pretty. We just couldn't get it to hold onto a tenon here. So we're going to have to re-tenon it if I can, and I'm not sure if I can. And we'll try re-tenon it, and I'll try and turn this at another time. We'll have to wait and see. But these are really hard to have a whole lot of. So what do you guys think? Okay. Fantabulous, huh? Thanks, Weekend. Well, I like this one. This is a great one for putting, stuff in. I keep one of these in my bathroom, and I use it for things that I toss in, like medicine stuff. In my case, I take insulin, so I toss the covers from the needles that go in crash. So I have something like this for that, and this holds about a week's supply. And something like this is decorative. It's very pretty, and I think it might be even waterproof. It might even hold water. I may be deceiving. I don't know. I sure love the colors in there though. Don't you? And how the radials of the lines are coming out all over the place. So I'm going to let that dry for a day or two. Probably put another coat on. Buff this one, same thing. It probably needs another coat or two, just to kind of buff. Oh, the one that didn't get turned, that was redwood. And it's really straight grain, and it's the sapwood on the outside that I'm using for the tenon part. So it's not very strong, and it's very stranded, and so it tears out every time you hit some sort of little bump when you're turning the inside of the bowl. So that's the bowl on that one. Now I made here we do a few months back, and those were great. And I also made some really good cypress bowls and juniper bowls. So I mean, it's not and spalted pine. I've made spalted pine, so it's not the pine. It's that particular redwood is very very straight strand. And unless you're, and I've even turned pine platters. if you do them right. But this particular type of wood that I have right there is just really, really hard. It's like turning balsa wood. It's just going to tear out on you. Large 40-pound oak burl ball. I've still got some pieces left here. Let's see if I can show you one of the big pieces. There's a little bit of one of the bowls that I can get out of that. So that oak burl, there was a huge oak burl. This is just one slab from it. Okay, and I had two burls actually. That right there weighs about 20 pounds that I just lifted up. That was about a 20-pound piece. And that's of old dried oak, so you can tell how dense it is in places. Yeah, it's really, really dense. Even this bowl here weighs probably 3 to 4 times as much as this does. Okay, this is dense walnut, but this weighs a lot more. Even though it has all these voids in it, the wood is just really, really heavy, dense wood. That's why it's hard to turn, but that's also why it's very pretty to turn. So you take the good with the bad. You know what you're doing when you get into it. I knew what I was doing today. I said good, bad, and ugly, and these were all three. So I really appreciate you guys being in here. Hopefully we hit the 5 million today. We only needed 6,200 views. Did that in the almost 3.5 hours that we've been on here. I got to get off my feet, and I got to clean up this mess. So I'm going to talk to you guys later. I really appreciate it. You have a great weekend. Hopefully you guys get out in the shop. Don't just spend time cleaning, but actually do something in the shop at the same time. And we'll talk to you all real soon. Thank you.